everybody, this is Kelly. I'm back with another layout, and this is another patriotic looking one. It was from the July 4th fireworks, and these are pictures of some friends of mine. I am going to be doing a grid basically layout here, a little modified grid anyway. That red dot paper there is from Bella Boulevard, the Family Frenzy collection, and the paper is called A Lot Going On. And I'm just pulling these die cuts here. I'm going to be using one. That was the inspiration for part of this layout anyway, and I'll talk a little bit more about that. But I quickly find this one that says every picture records a little story. And that one is from the mini placemats, the Smile collection from Jelly Bean Soup. I have a ton of these and I haven't used many of them, so I'm glad that I got this one on my layout. Those 3x4 cards there are free printables from Elle Studio that she did for 4th of July. And I know I want to use this this navy stripe paper as well from Bella Boulevard from the Color Chaos collection. It's called Blueberry Strands. And originally what I was thinking about doing was putting the bottom half of the pictures on that blue paper, because I lose a little bit of the edges of that card that says Family, Friends, Freedom on the left side there when it sits on the red. But I'm not convinced that that's what I want to do when I'm looking at this. So I think about framing it, which I do a lot, and then I look at it and I kind of like the way the gap looks at the top, and decide, you know what, I'm just going to cut some off and I'll be able to put a gap on the top and the bottom so that the blue is framing it, but only on the top and the bottom. And I really like the way that ends up looking. I am kind of trying to figure out spacing here, spacing about where the photos are going to go in relation to everything else. And I'm going to butt the bottom row of photos up. And then I know kind of how much to cut off the bottom, because I want about an even gap around the photos on the top and the bottom and the sides. It's not quite even, but it's close. There would have been way too much of a gap probably on the bottom. And I wanted to see more of that blue paper. So I'm just cutting off the border strip there, and now I'm going to decide where to put this. And I'm deciding that I like the larger space left at the top there. So I'm doing a little bit of cutting. I cut a little bit of extra space off that photo in the bottom, that horizontal photo. There was dead space in the photo, so that gives me a little bit more room on both sides of the printables. So now I kind of have an idea of where I like those photos at the top, and I know I want that every picture die cut to just kind of sit there. So while I'm doing that, the reason I use this die cut is Victoria Marie did a YouTube challenge for the month that she is going to, and this is during the month, for the next month, she did a video in mid-July, that she is going to get out her die cutting machine and create some die cuts. Now, I don't own a Cameo. I do own a Cricut, but I don't even have that many cartridges. But I do have die cuts. I have 12x12 die cuts that, like the old KI Memories ones that were sold. And then I have a bunch of these little placemats. And I thought this is a great way for me to get inspired to use some of these die cuts. So that's what inspired this use of that Jelly Bean placemat. And I just kind of tested there, as I was telling you, that I tested to see if I really did like more space at the top or more space at the bottom, and I decided I definitely liked more space at the top than the bottom. And I kind of know I'm going to probably border that gap with something. I'm not quite sure what it is. I'm thinking about that as I'm gluing this down. I have my Scotch Quick Dry adhesive in the fine line bottle there. And you know, as we often do, we do what we know we're going to do as we figure out what else is going to happen on the layout. So I thought about cutting up different papers, or, you know, to give it a little border, using a border punch with it. And then I remembered I had these Doodlebug frills. I have them in both red and blue, this blue. And I thought the blue was a really nice foil against the navy. Plus it just brings another blue in, because the blue on that card is not exactly the same blue as the background paper. So if I have 3 different kinds of blues, then the 2 different kinds of blues don't look like they're fighting each other. So I found a scallop border, and then I found this dot border. And I realized I probably should glue the whole, that whole big piece to the background before I started putting the borders on. You know, that happens sometimes. And that scallop border, honestly, is going to be the bane of my existence for a little bit here in just a minute. So I look at it and realize that the holes are not punched out of it. So I spend the next, I don't know, 9 or 10 minutes doing that, and spared you having to watch me do that by the power of editing. However, I did have a hard time getting this lined up. So the border strips are from the Doodlebug Fancy Frills cardstock stickers, and the color of that one is Blue Jean. I also have, let's see, I have them in Ladybug as well, too, the Fancy Frills. And they came in sheets, and then they also had letter stickers that matched, too. So I haven't used as many. You know, they're an easy border strip, so I don't know why I'm not using them, but I haven't. So maybe I need to look at getting some more of these on layouts as well. And they're perfect with the patriotic theme, especially since I've made a couple of layouts from the 4th of July weekend already, and I've used up my supply of any 4th of July themed papers. Not that I have to scrap them with 4th of July themed papers, but I do sometimes like to do that if I have them. But I've used up that supply already, and I just don't have a ton of embellishments. When I did print these 3x4 printables from Elle Studio, I did pull some of the photos, and I knew I wanted to use these two with these photos just because I love the way the blue happened to match the blue in a lot of the clothing in this layout. So, and like I said, that came from Elle Studio, and they were free printables. I don't know. On their website, I don't know if they're still offering them for free or not, but you could always go look. I just subscribe to their blog, and they offer free things from time to time, and they're, you know, it's a nice little freebie here because I got some embellishments, and I've used a couple of these cards on different layouts that I've been doing. So the pictures really here in this grid, and the printables are taking up a lot of the space on this. So I'm kind of thinking, well, how am I going to embellish this? And I probably don't need a ton of embellishment because the printables and the die cut are doing a lot of that work for me already, plus a little bit of the border strips. So I'm kind of looking to see if I can find some red stickers here, and I'm looking through some sheets of jelly bean soup stickers. The only problem with that is all of these have a very cream base, and everything on here is really white base. So I kind of looked at, you know, some of them, and I looked at this tab. I kind of liked it, but it really, the red's not the same, and the reds are going to blend when I find some letter stickers fairly well. So I don't know, it just bothered me. I thought about using a little bit of this arrow, but that just didn't seem to work. And the reason it wasn't working is because it was very yellow because of the cream versus the white. And I'm going to abandon that and see what else I can come up with. So while I'm doing that, I decided to figure out how to do my title, and I have these old mini alphabet stickers from Authentique. They're from the Celebrate collection, which was a birthday collection that was in black, white, red, and a little bit of turquoise and gray. It was kind of a strange color combination for that, but I won it, so, you know, and I've used most of it. I think I've sent a few of the papers to my sister-in-law, who's a 4th grade teacher, because I just didn't think I'd ever use those, but the kids will love them. So anyway, it's from the Celebrate collection, the Elements stickers. And the name of this layout is going to be make new friends. And that's because these are friends that I've met within the last couple years. You know, as an adult, you don't often make good close friends later in life, but I've been blessed to be able to do that a couple of times in the last few years. And that's who these people were. So I decided, you know, that old song that says, make new friends, keep the old, one is silver and the other is gold. I just was thinking of that song when I did that little title. And the title is little. You know, when you look at it, you'd probably think the title is every picture records a little story, but you know, it just, whatever, it doesn't matter. So, and I do have just a little bit of journaling space on the bottom of that card there that'll be right under the title, and I'm going to journal on that. I don't think I do it on camera if I remember correctly, but you will see that I did journal on it on the stills. I am not a person to not journal on layouts and then go back and do it later, because I don't know how well that would actually work. I mean, part of the point of this is telling my story, so for me, so I want to get those on there. So even if I don't journal on camera, I finish the journaling before I put everything away or put the layout away or record, you know, things for recording. Even when I'm not recording layouts, I do that. Although, really, honestly, most of my scrapbooking time now is recorded, just because you only have so much in a week, time in a week, and I need to do about 2 layouts a week if I want to keep up with my YouTube schedule. So, and that's all one I've set myself, so no big deal. So I'm going to use my cutter bee tweezers here, just because these are tiny and I want to make sure they get arranged properly. And it works out that sometimes if I turn these, if you turn them, it's really easy to butt those rectangles up against the rectangle next to it. So that's what I'm kind of doing to space these out. And I'm trying to figure this out. Get those all on there. By the way, I did not take these pictures. I should always say that if I haven't taken them, I'm scrapbooking somebody else's pictures. I decided to not take my camera. I just wanted to experience the night, and my friend who's on the top left there actually took these with her iPhone, and I asked her to share them with me so that I could make layouts, and she very willingly did that. So I thought that was pretty cool. Sometimes I do. I actually leave my camera home. I tend to leave my, I call it my big girl camera, so my DSLR home, and then use my iPhone if I decide I want to do that more than I just totally leave a camera home. But, you know, sometimes you just want to experience the event versus experiencing the event through a camera. So now I'm looking at what else I could embellish with. Again, I abandoned those jelly bean soup stickers. I want something more dimensional on here. So, that's what I'm kind of looking for, and I'm going back through those jelly bean soup stickers, and then I remember I have these Bella Boulevard chipboard sheets next to me, and I'm trying to work through those. So I find that little asterisk that I had on there and then took off because I'm going to glue it down. These are not, they're not old, but they are older, and I know that this Bella Boulevard chipboard can lose its stickiness, so I want to peel off the backing thing so I can put the ATG on it. So I did that for a little star like firework thing, and then I have this red arrow from the Chow chip sheets, and the name of this particular sheet is Symbols. So I am just about done. There will be a still shot and a couple of detail shots at the end. Hope you are all well. Bye!